Babylon Project was our last, best hope for peace.
Imagine pitching Babylon 5 to a streaming executive today. I have a strict 5-year story arc. Some major plots won't pay off for years. The biggest character twists happen in Season 4. Oh, and I need 22 episodes a season. How long do you think that meeting lasts? 2 minutes? Maybe 3. The more I think about it, the more I realise Babylon 5 isn't just great sci-fi, it's a miracle. It is a show that could only have existed at one exact moment in television history, and that is what we are looking at today. Back in the 90s, television lived by a different set of rules. Seasons were long, writers had room to breathe, characters actually had time to just exist in their world, and then came Babylon 5, created by J. Michael Straczynski. This wasn't a show built around a season, it was built around a destination, a clear beginning, a defined middle, a definitive end. Today, that sounds normal. Back then, it was revolutionary. Babylon 5 wasn't making it up as it went along. It was laying a foundation. Seeds planted in Season 1 wouldn't bloom until years later. Characters evolved, choices had consequences, actions actually mattered. The story always moved forward, and once you finally reached the end, you could look back and see the entire master plan. One thing modern audiences often forget is just how much patience television used to require. You watched an episode, then you waited a whole week, you discussed it with friends, you spent days wondering where a storyline was heading, you sat there trying to decode a strange line of dialogue, wondering if it actually meant something. Babylon 5 thrived in that environment. It wanted you to pay attention. It expected you to remember. It trusted you. Today, that trust is a dying art. A lot of modern television seems absolutely terrified that the audience might get bored for 30 seconds. Everything has to move. Everything has to happen immediately. Every single scene needs to be bigger, louder, and crazier than the thing that happened 5 minutes ago. Babylon 5 wasn't interested in that panic. It was willing to take its time, and that is exactly why it still stands out today. And here's where modern television might struggle the most. Some of the absolute best scenes in Babylon 5 had nothing to do with action. They were just conversations. Think about Londo and G'Kar, 2 ambassadors, 2 bitter enemies, 2 characters whose relationship changes drastically over 5 years. Some of their most memorable moments involve nothing more than 2 people talking in a room. No explosions, no giant space battles, no expensive special effects. Just character, conflict, consequences. Today, that approach feels radical. Many modern productions seem entirely convinced that mindless spectacle is the only way to keep you watching. But Babylon 5 proved a different truth. Great characters keep audiences watching. Great writing keeps audiences watching. And when those 2 things work together, you don't need constant noise. Now let's talk about the real elephant in the room. Modern streaming. Most shows today don't get 22 episodes. Many don't even get 10. They are shorter, faster, and judged almost instantly. If the viewing figures aren't where the streaming platform wants them within the first weekend, you're cancelled. That creates a completely brutal environment for storytelling. A show like Babylon 5 needed time. It needed viewers to trust the process. It needed space to build a universe and room for those massive long-term payoffs. Would a modern streaming platform ever allow that? Maybe, but I'm not convinced. Too many shows today feel designed entirely around immediate engagement. What gets people clicking? What gets people trending? What keeps subscriptions active? Those are corporate questions, and they are rarely the same things that create great storytelling. The funny thing is, Babylon 5 isn't perfect. Let's be honest, the special effects are incredibly dated. Some of the performances are a little uneven. Some episodes are undeniably weaker than others. But here's the thing, none of that actually matters, because the foundation is rock solid. The story works, the characters work, the world feels completely real. And that is exactly why people are still talking about it over 30 years later. They aren't tuning in for the CGI. They aren't staying for the budget or the flashy action scenes. They are still here because the writing gave people something genuinely worth investing in. So, could Babylon 5 be made today? Technically, yes, of course it could. The technology is light years ahead, the special effects would look incredible, the sets would be massive, the visuals would be absolutely spectacular, but that is not the real question. The real question is this: would a modern studio ever give it the time it needs? Would executives allow a slow burn? Would audiences stick around long enough to see those payoffs? And, perhaps most importantly, would anyone trust a creator enough to let them tell a 5-year story without constantly interfering? Because that might be the true legacy of Babylon 5. It isn't just great science fiction, it represents a style of television that is entirely extinct. But what do you think? Could Babylon 5 succeed if it launched for the very first time today? Or was it the product of a television era that simply doesn't exist anymore? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy breaking down storytelling, world building, and the strange decisions modern studios keep making, subscribe and join us for the next episode of Watching Nonsense Unfold. Because sometimes the most interesting thing isn't what gets made, it's what couldn't get made anymore.